No Limit Larry back again. We back at it again. It's another edition of the Butt Naked Truth Podcast. Got my partner with me.
What's up, man? It's Brentson Buckner. I'm here to clean your closet out with them well-dressed lies and help you come out with the butt naked truth.
Nothing but the Butt Naked Truth.
Nothing but the butt naked truth. So help you God.
Hey, I love that. Hey, so let's get right to it.
Yes.
Fan Fest went down. I saw you out there. You a legend, Panthers legend, NFL legend. I was like, look at my dog. Look at my dog. Let me ask you something, Buck. Being called a Panthers legend or being called a legend, how does that make you feel, one, and do you embrace it, or you just like, I'm just me?
It really makes you feel good because it makes you feel appreciated by the city that you played for. And you know, when we was here, we was always in the street. We was a team of the fans. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When that social media wasn't as big, so you could see us on the Ford, you could see us in East Charlotte, North Charlotte. We went to the clubs, we went to the restaurants, barbershops, we just hung out. But it really make you feel good, to feel appreciated, you know, for the time you spent here, because you know, I really made Charlotte my home. The 6 years I spent here playing, after that, I said, I can't go nowhere else. There's nothing against my home. I'm a DSGB till I die, but Charlotte became my home. But just to see the admiration from the fans, it feels good. Fan
Fest this year, I saw a lot of people come out like they do every year. What did you feel about the Fan Fest? And do you feel like the Panthers sitting on something this year?
I can feel the excitement. That was the first time the fans have been back in the stadium since the playoff game. So the energy went there, but you can feel it. You can feel the excitement that, hey, man, we are close. We made some adjustments. We added some pieces this offseason. Our guys have got a little bit better. And just the excitement. It was the first time in years that the weather was great.
Yeah, it usually rain.
It usually rain and people hold off and they come late. Because I went there and I had to do an autograph session before the game. And I'm sitting up, man, it was lines outside the stadium. I like, they must be getting away free jerseys or something. Because I know all these people are not coming to get my autograph. but no, they was just there. They was happy to see the team. And it's just the excitement. The thing that I like, you starting to see now the fathers and daughters, not just the sons. You starting to see little kids become fans and parents become fans, and the energy is just growing. But I think they're sitting on something. Now, you still got to go play the game. You still got to – we just in the second week of training camp. You got to get through that. But I think the energy of the city is in the right direction.
Any guys you've seen out there, whether Fan Fest or being at practice, have you seen anybody make any flashes where you're going to be like, watch out for this guy this season?
Man, watch out for the young defensive tackle Hunter from Texas Tech.
Okay.
Man, second round draft pick. You know, he's going to be playing next to Derrick Brown. You know, people are not going to key in on him, but this guy's a disruptor. He plays hard. He plays with an old school mentality. So you can tell he was well coached in college. He has a real high football IQ, but then he's getting great coaching. I watched him do an individual. I just watch him just try to feed off and get knowledge from Derrick Brown and all the veteran guys. Like everything he did, he wanted to be critiqued. He wanted to make a mistake. Then he go out there and he playing with the first team defense due to injuries right now, and he's holding his own. He's making plays. Another guy that I think the Carolina Panthers are going to get behind their fan base is Lloyd, the linebacker from Jacksonville.
Okay.
I was there when we drafted the guy, and he is so much matured as a player right now. He's leading the defense. He's big. He's athletic. He's going to kind of remind you of some of the old guys we used to have. He's actually wearing 55 like D-Mo wore.
Okay.
So, you know, you put that 5'5" on.
Like
you put that 5'5" on. You got to go play. And I got to give credit. I like the offensive tackle from Georgia that they drafted. He's out there going against Phillips, the high free agent that they signed, the big price, and he's holding his own. He's not backing down. You know, maybe it's that SEC mentality. Like, hey, I've been practicing against first rounders since I've been in college.
My whole life.
But those guys are playing. Those guys that really stuck out to me. There's going to be some other guys. But like I said, we're in second week of training camp. This week will be a big test to see it on the grass versus Arizona. Really the young guys. And then we'll pop back up on it after that.
Let me ask you this, you know, because the Panthers are under investigation. You know, injury bug bites early. I know you played in the NFL for a long time. When that injury bug bites you early, how does that affect the team, like, you know, going into the season?
It hurts you mentally because you're just like, oh, you know, you're out there. It's a physical sport. And the injury that happened to Scorton, what you're talking about, it was a non-contact injury. They wasn't even in pads. So those are those freak of nature type injuries that you have. But that's football right now. And a lot of the old players I talk to, we really say that I blame these injuries right now. A lot had to do with the CBA. The CBA changed where guys spent less time in the offseason, less time on the field, and, guys like, it's going to prolong your career. But trust me, football is the one sport you only get ready for football by playing football. I played during an era that was a little bit more physical than this, a little bit more demanding. We didn't have all these injuries. We didn't have these soft tissue, non-contact injuries. Now, we had injuries. My second year, Rod Wilson tore his knee, first game of the year. But you might have one or two ACLs throughout the league the whole year.
Right.
But now there's like they're happening so fast. And another thing I always say, the athletes got so much bigger, stronger, and faster. But you got to let them go out there and practice their craft. Me and Al Wallace, one of my teammates, was sitting there talking, and we used to talk about coming out of veteran minicamp. When you went in pads, your body felt it because the tempo was like pads, but you just went in pads. But you knew, hey, man, I got to get strong. I've been taking on these double teams. I got to work on my ankle, my hip flexibility. And so you sort of shocked your body into being ready for training camp. Because we showed up to training camp ready for live goal line. That was our mentality. First day of training camp, if Coach Blow the Whistle said we're going live, I'm going to be ready for it now. But the mentality now is it's called an acclimation period. I don't even know what acclimation means in football. You know what I mean? It's an acclimation period. So guys come into camp, they're not in 100% shape because they know I got 2 weeks where I'm not going to be in pads. I'm going to be able to go out here and work myself into it and do things. But when you came to Spartanburg, when I was here, John Fox, we're going to put our hand in the mud from day one. And you had to be ready physically and mentally that way because you never knew what was around that corner.
All right, so Chris Braswell goes down, big draft pick for the Panthers. He's a wide receiver. He goes down. I think our wide receiver core here in Carolina is still straight, though, without Chris Braswell.
Well, I think Chris Braswell was going to bring that dynamic, a big, fast target down the field, had great body control. Somebody to play opposite T4 to loosen up the defense. And I know Dan and them were happy, super happy, to get him in the second round when they got him, because I think he got like 4.2 speed. So you need somebody that can take the top off of it, but also can just stretch the field. Him going down, I feel sorry for rookies when you go down as a rookie, you miss your whole rookie year.
Yeah.
Because now you're really going to be another year behind because you're not going to be acclimated to the practice schedule. You're not going to be acclimated to the time you got to put in to get better. The game is still going to be super fast to you when you get back because when you hurt, there's only so much you can do mentally. Like you can get the playbook down, but your body is not going to have a time to adjust because you're going to be working on an injury. But I think the wide receiver corps can be what it want to be, but it's all going to be on 17. 17 has to show up and be the first round pick everybody thought he could be. For me, if I'm a veteran guy, I go to him and say, delete all your social media. Because me just watching him, I think what people say about him gets to him. Because I think he's such a people pleaser. I think he wants everybody to like him. And if you live by the cheers, you'll die by the boos. Because we know the kid is talented. He played in the SEC. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, a great guy, but he's just lacking that confidence right now. And he's the one person he got to defeat every morning is that guy he look in that mirror. He's got to give himself acclamations and go on that field and have a butthole mentality. I don't care what you say about me, what you do. I'm the man. I'm a first-round draft pick for a reason. But if he get his confidence going and way the offense is built, because I still think they're going to run the ball and pound it, but you got big receivers that can win the 50-50 ball downfield. It can be explosive.
Speaking of Panthers and speaking of, the Fan Fest and Panthers legends like yourself, Luke Kuechly, baby. You call him Hall of Fame Luke now. Luke Kuechly going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Just think. Carolina Panthers didn't have nobody in the Hall of Fame.
Nobody from Carolina in the Hall of Fame?
Well, Sam Mills went, but a lot of people believe he went as a Saint because he played majority of his career as a Saint. Okay. But then you have Pep 2 years ago. Yeah. Now you got Luke. Yeah. Those three arguably, Pep and Luke arguably the two best players to ever play because they got the gold jacket now. But Luke is well-deserved. And I said this a million times. I've never seen such a cerebral player in my life, just watching and coaching against him. It was almost like he was a cheat code. He just knew the plays, and you worried about where he was on the defense with Thomas Davis, Charles Johnson, Josh Norman. Where's 59? I remember Bruce Arians coming in and telling, like, we can't run this play. Why? Because Luke has picked this ball off on other teams. He knows it. He feels it. And you just have to eliminate stuff based on a middle linebacker and the way he played the game. And you look at his numbers, and his career was cut short due to the concussions. Man, the man was phenomenal at that position. Coming out of Boston College, I don't know, a lot of people thought he was overrated. Yeah, you're making a lot of tackles at Boston College because it's Boston College. You're on the field all the time. But when that man stepped into that, he looked like Clark Kent.
Yep, he did.
But he played like Superman.
He damn so did.
So I'm happy for him, man. That's big for the Carolina Panthers organization.
Yeah.
To have someone like Luke to go in who's going to represent the organization well, you know, the ways, and he just got, I think he was just picked to be the number one booth guy for God, what company it is? Excuse me, that's concussion stuff kicking in right now.
That's your CT.
Yeah, my CT.
Send him his check.
Yeah, send him my check. He's gonna be the number one booth for God darn, for one of them companies
Fox,
out there.
somebody.
It's not Fox. It's whoever's gonna do it on one of the internet companies.
Okay, I got you.
No, he's gonna be the number one booth guy for him. Okay. So you're gonna get to see him. You're gonna really get to see how smart. Not Tony Romo, where he's a smirk. I hate watching game with Tony Romo. Man, CBS, if y'all don't do anything else or whoever trying to keep him off just for a little bit.
Well, he's actually going to be out for a little bit because they you know they're not parting ways, but they're asking him to step away due to his OWI. He
make you hate watching the game. He tells you the damn play before the play. We know you played quarterback. Let us guess. No, let us see the game. But I think you're gonna get to see Luke from that point of view, how smart he is, way he can diagnose the game, you know, and just to see how he is as an individual. But it's big for Carolina to have another Hall of Famer.
Other guys going into the Hall of Fame, shout out to Larry Fitzgerald, one of my favorite wide receivers of all time. Drew Brees. I actually hung out with Drew Brees at the Pro Bowl. I did not know how funny Drew Brees was. Man, that he cut with country, but he funny as hell.
Drew Brees is one of those guys. He was one of the favorite guys you like to play. It's just the way he carried himself. He never took himself so serious. But Larry Fitzgerald, I had the pleasure of coaching in Arizona with Larry Fitzgerald. You talking about salt of the earth. If you want your son to be a professional football player, but still be humble, make everybody feel that their job is the most important in the world, Larry Fitzgerald, you know, the things he would do for my kids. Because when I went to Arizona as a coach, Brandon was just turning 10 years old. And Larry just had this thing with kids. He just migrated to the kids. He always wanted their experience at a practice or at a game. He wanted to be the best experience in the world. You know, he see you walk in with your wife and your mother, he hugging them, getting, you know, so everybody just left feeling, man, he just made my day. But Larry Fitzgerald is one of those ones. Man, like a guy that got more tackles than he got drop passes in his career.
That's crazy.
Now that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And he played wide receiver.
Y'all think about that. That's crazy stat for a wide receiver. You got more tackles than drop passes?
That's
crazy.
That's
phenomenal.
And never miss practice. Always wanted to practice. I'd never forget one time. I hope he don't get mad at me telling this story. BA was a real stickler about when we practice in pads, you had to dress like you had to dress in a game. Okay. Because he's like, the game, they're gonna make you have certain equipment on, so you have to wear it. So he's like, you might wear a practice on it. Well, Larry was one of those guys. He was from the school of T.O. and Jerry Rice, where they just wanted to practice in tights with their shoulder pads. And BA came out there. When I say BA gave him one that day, and it was an open practice.
Yeah.
He yelled, he cussed Larry out so bad. Get off the field. You're out the game till you get dressed. Blah, 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 blah. And you could just see Larry's face like, I'm Larry Fitzgerald. Why? But you know what he did? He went in there, got dressed, and came back. He never made that mistake again.
That's what's up.
And as much as it hurt him, but he's like, Buck, he was right. He said this was a uniform dress for the day. I didn't do it. I didn't know he was going to give it to me like that. But he gave it to me, and he took it. Yeah. And you know what's so good? And he told me one time, he's like, man, I appreciate BA. I like, why? He like, BA cemented my gold jacket. Because Larry said I had never had a 100-catch season until BA got here. He like, and I always played one side of the ball one side of the field, one position. He like, BA made me learn every position. He like, you learn every position, you can get more catches.
Right.
We can find matchups. He like, he took my Hall of Fame career and really cemented to be in a Hall of Fame career. But Larry Fitzgerald, my guy, though.
Also going in, Adam Vinatieri is also going in.
Oh, man.
Adam is the reason you ain't got a Super Bowl, baby.
He's the reason I don't have a Super Bowl ring. But, hey, he one of the greatest to ever do it.
One of the greatest ever do it.
But we knew it. We gave him 2 minutes. We had blocked 2, he had missed 1.
Yeah.
And he got one more chance. We like, hey, I don't think we're going to escape this one. But Adam Vinatieri, man, he's one of those guys, one of those clutch kickers for those Patriot teams, going in. But then the ultimate weapon who's finally going in, Roger Craig. Roger Craig was that dual running back when they wanted such thing as a dual running back. 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing in the Saints. Original for the 49er team. You talk about the Jerry Rice, the Joe Montanas, the Steve Youngs, and all those guys. But you ask them guys, 33 made that thing go.
Original bang bang Niner gang. Shout out to all my Niner fans out there. But yeah, him and what's the running back that played with him? The fullback that played
Tom Ralphman.
Yeah.
Both of them went to Nebraska.
Bro, it was crazy. That was crazy out the backfield.
Both of them came out there. Roger Craig ran so hard. And Jerry Rice actually credits Roger Craig for teaching him how to train. Because that hill that Jerry Rice is known to run, and you got 3 miles up and another 3 miles down through Rich. He like, Roger Craig took me there. He like, Roger Craig was a monster. If you see Roger Craig still like he can run. He one of them old men now that still wear his belt tight. He's probably a 28 slim, but he's a great guy. No, when you see this Hall of Fame class, not to say all of them, but I think a lot of people tell you they are great guys on and off the field. I think it's going to be a great class. I can't wait for more Carolina Panthers to go in to be celebrated. Speaking
of the Carolina Panthers and going in, who do you see in the next 2, 3, maybe 5 years that might be going into the Hall of Fame from Carolina? You could think.
I think Smitty. Smitty has to go in. Smitty has to go in. You just look at the way Smitty affected the game so much. When from day one when he came in, he was a all pro bowler returner. Opening return of our season up in Minnesota. They got Randy Moss. They got Chris Carter. They got all these guys. Smitty takes it to the house, silence the dome, and we win that game. Now, it was our only win of the season.
That's the year y'all went 4-15? That's my man Nate was on the roof. Y'all had Nate on the roof. Nate up there about to die. He's trying to get y'all to win games.
Man, well, Nate was on the roof. I was sitting on a psychiatrist there, laying down like, why did I take this job? Why did I pick this team? But Smitty was that guy. And then you could just see Smitty just started to grow. And then when we got Ricky Prohl and the offense started to open, you saw Smitty become a better wide receiver. And then that year we went to the Super Bowl, he just woke up one day and said, I'm a monster. I'm only 5'9", but I got the soul of a 6 vote. You know what I mean? But he was a dog, and Smitty was our guy. And to have one of your smaller players on your team be one of your toughest guys on your team, and he always brought the best out of us defensively, because it was like a war with him. Everything was so personal with him when we went on the field. Man, he just tried to kill our DBs, crack on linebackers, talk trash. So he made us turn up. Smitty was one of the first guys to make Pep turn up and pray. Pep be like, hey, yo, I'm tired of him talking. Let's go. You know what I mean? But it was iron sharpening iron. But I think Smitty is going to be that next one to go.
Let me ask you this, talking about turning up in practice. We just saw this happen at a practice with Jamar Chase and a DB up in Cincy. Talking about those battles in practice. How does that help catapult the season? Because we remember the fight. Josh Norman, Cam Newton went crazy. Boom, them boys go to the Super Bowl. Do you need something like that in training camp? Like, do you need that?
I have never in a training camp where I played, I have never went to a training camp without a fight. Whether you're fighting your teammates or you're fighting against a team you're practicing against.
Gotcha.
You need it because you want to bring together, and you want to see, because if you're not fighting, that means you're not going hard enough.
Right.
Because sooner or later, I'm going to get tired of you hitting me. You're going to get tired of me hitting you. And then normally when you fight, it's something small. You just bump into each other. Now you just, the lava's out the volcano. You can't put it back in. I remember when John Fox came here, man, we was going at it every day. And I never forget me, Chris Jenkins, Ruck, Pelt. man, we got to fight with the offense. It got so bad, Fox kicked us all off the field.
Everybody gone.
I'm tired of breaking up fights. Get it. Y'all don't want to practice. But what it does, normally when you fight a guy, it's not really, go to the cafeteria, you sit there and laugh about it, but it brings you closer. Because we used to say it all the time. We used to get to fight with our team, but won't nobody else fight them.
Right.
I promise you we're not going to let nobody else fight them. Do something wrong to Jake Delhomme or Stephen Davis, and we probably been on fault that whole week in practice. But we're going to your head when we got down the football field. But it galvanized you. It galvanized you together.
So was you here when Steve Smith choked Ken Lucas?
That was the year I had left.
Oh.
But see, that was balling the year, my last year when we signed Ken Lucas.
Yeah.
Steve felt anybody you bring in that defensive back that was supposed to be number one, it was an insult because you were bringing him in to stop him. And Steve, nothing was off limit with Steve.
Yeah.
When you was out there, he went out and for some reason, he had it in his head that Ken Lucas is my enemy. I don't care what Ken Lucas do. Ken Lucas is my enemy. And I remember we used to say, like, kid, you got to fight him.
Got to fight him.
If you don't fight him, he's going to keep on bullying you. You know what I mean? And that's just not him, but he's a shark. He tastes the blood in the water. But Ken was like, I just signed a big deal. I came from Seattle. I don't want to upset the apple cart. I'm like, man, you better throw them damn apples on the ground. You better go grab. You better go.
One of them damn apples.
You better go grab this joker and let him know.
Yeah.
No, but Steve was a pit bull, man.
Shout out to Steve Smith, man. Come on the Butt Naked Truth podcast. Tell your butt naked truth. And Steve helped me out in this situation, man. Big shout out to Steve Smith. I went through something at Carowinds, and Steve was out there with me, and he made sure I was straight, man. So I'm forever like, that's one of my homies. But every time I see him, I'd be like, yo, bro, I appreciate that.
Man, Steve Smith, my guy. I used to say, a lot of guys used to get mad at Steve. It was funny to me.
Yeah.
Because he was like the Gooch off Different Strokes. For y'all people that ever watch Different Strokes, Gooch ended up being 3'2", but beat up everybody. That was Steve. And Steve was a big practical joker. People would get mad at him because you couldn't put a practical joke on him, but he could do it on you. He go in there and change the music. He didn't even care. If everybody was vibing to one music in the weight room, guess who's gonna walk by and turn the music off? Steve, just to say he could do it. But it was funny. So me and Steve was cool. We still cool to this day. But he's one of the most competitive guys that ever been around. And I've been blessed to be around some wide receivers. Like I said, Coach Larry Fish on the staff to Coach Larry Fitzgerald, played with T.O. and Jerry Rice, with Carl Pickens and Darnay Scott in Cincinnati, Andre Rison in Kansas City. I've been around some guys. When you talk about he talent-wise or numbers-wise, he's not a build there, but competitor-wise, I take Smitty over almost anybody. Because you go to war, you know who ain't running.
He ain't going. Ain't he from Compton?
He's
Long Beach, Inglewood,
Inglewood, the jungles.
Yeah.
You know where he say, I'm putting cases on all you. That was
King Kong ain't got on me.
That was the neighborhood he grew up in.
Yeah.
That was the neighborhood he grew up in. And you can tell he grew up there because it was something in him you didn't want to come out. We used to call it Roscoe behind his back.
Roscoe.
Man, I hope Roscoe don't show up today. Man, Roscoe, please don't show up today, Roscoe.
Speaking of Roscoe, speaking of showing up, a lot of people been wanting this young lady to show up and be whatever she gonna be. She's here to tell her butt naked truth today. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all say what's up to the real Kelly D. Hey, what's up, Kelly D?
Yeah.
Not coming in here with a shirt on that says allegedly.
My whole life is allegedly.
Well, appreciate you sitting down with us on your Butt Naked Truth podcast and tell your butt naked truth.
My first time being around you was at the NFL event. Oh, really? The women off the field. Yes, and so I really want you to tell the people about that, because a lot of times they just think NFL is all about the men, the playing. But the wives and the women behind it, they do so much for the community to help uplift the league for things that we can never do. Just talk about your time as being a part of the Off the Field Foundation.
What I love about them is they don't just accept you because you're a wife. You could be a girlfriend, you could be a mom, you could be an auntie, you could be a sister, and you come in with them and they're going to teach you about the league and teach you how things work, but you're also going to get into the community. You're going to do community service. You're going to learn how to have your guy's back while he's being the breadwinner and being out there on the field. And that's what I love about Off the Field and all the other ladies organizations, for sure.
What was it like, or what is it like being an NFL wife, or just a wife of a prominent sports figure? What is it like being that?
you know, a lot of people see the TV shows, the reality TV shows, and they think like that's our world. For me, it was just a job. It was just a job. It was a season that we were in life. For me, it was still, you know, cooking. It was still taking care of the kids. It was still cleaning. It was still doing everything, not ever missing a game, you know. It was actually being supportive, but also still doing everything else that you had to do. The glitz, the glam, the events, the buying the bags, the shopping, all that stuff was BS. That's like, you know, cherry on the top of the real world. And what I try to teach like the younger women is pay attention to that real world aspect. Because what they say NFL stand for?
Not for long.
Not for long, baby.
Not for long. That's what it's
not for long.
Not for long.
And you gonna have to like get into the real world. And especially like for the guys when they retire, I look at it like you entering my world now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You entering my world, helping with these kids, dealing with the drama, all that kind of stuff. That's why a lot of them be cheating because they got to come home after retirement. And they be like, damn, it's a lot. But shout out to them women because we hold it down.
It is true because we go and we got to go play. We got to go be a whole different person when we walk in that building because you got to have the mentality. That's why only a certain amount of people make it. But they have their own world. That's like we're playing the game of football.
Right.
They are the masters of the game of life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They got to get the kids to school every day. They got to get the medicine. They got to get the doctor's appointment. God forbid you come home hurt. They got to make now they're the trainer. Hey, you got ice on your leg. Can I hook the stem machine up?
Right.
Did you take your medicine?
Right.
Then they got to be your liaison. Well, babe, I'm at the stadium. We about to fly out. I forgot my coat, my suit coat. They got to run you the suit coat.
Fly down there and bring that suit coat.
I left my playbook at home. They got to help you pack your suitcase. But then also, they got to be that barrier that they have to take in all the stuff. I've been yelled at. They think about cutting me. So I got to come home and vent. You know what I mean? Not knowing because we're so selfish as athletes. Because we're so catered
Don't
to.
just put it to athletes as men.
As men.
Nah, we ain't gonna say that. Hold on now. Hold on now. All men ain't like that.
All men ain't like
that. You ain't gonna come on here and do that.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna take up for athletes on this one. Yes, y'all might be a little selfish, but men in general, y'all don't really understand.
That's not true. Some men are running households. Some men, we ain't gonna do that.
No, we're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna say, if you a real mother, you a real mom, and you out here running the ship and making this thing go, then the men don't understand. No matter what your job is.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, man, men totally understand. But number one, we are appreciative, and we might not always say we appreciate, but we definitely appreciate y'all, and we show it in a lot of other ways with the bags.
Because I was just about to say, if you pop your titty out and can feed a kid, then you understand.
I mean, I ain't got no milk in my titty.
I'm just saying, when you can do that, then you can tell me.
But no, but men, like, you know, just like y'all got certain things that y'all never feel appreciated on. Men got certain things we never feel appreciated on as well.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a give and take in both situations.
100%, because I can tell you right now, I could never do the things that y'all do in the position that y'all in. Like Larry, you getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I know it's been plenty of times y'all joke with me about, come on more, you know, on the Madhouse, or do this or do that when we at this event all night. Please, what are you talking about? And then
trust me, I did it.
And listen,
my first week on, I took 2 days
are
off.
you serious?
But he's not lying.
I came on to a CIAA.
That takes a different kind of person.
And he want to host parties and go to work at 5. I ain't gonna make it today.
And then when you talk about being a professional athlete, whatever sport it is, you got a different mindset. Your discipline is different. So I can sit over here and toot my own horn all day about I'm a mom and I do this and do that. And baby, yes, it's a lot of work. But I could never do what y'all do. And then the mental drain that it takes on you. That's why I understand why a lot of relationships don't last, you know, with the wives and things. I get it. And I might be one of the few wives that get it. But y'all go through a lot. It's a lot.
Well, we appreciate you saying that.
Yeah,
as
for
men,
sure.
we appreciate you saying that.
For sure. I see it. And I'm like, dang, like I could. You think I'm finna get out there on the field, let big 400-pound men beat me up? Then I got to go have surgery on something. Then I got to come home and hear your mouth.
Yes.
And them kids. I would go fucking crazy. Like,
I'm telling you,
God bless you.
It's bad, but the key to it is, and any guy will tell you, when you got a good woman at home, whether she's your girlfriend or your wife, and you're in the NFL, it makes it so much easier to go to work.
Absolutely.
Because it's been times I remember when I was a rookie. I got married right before I went to training camp. So we got married, and a month later I'm in training camp. It was like 12 o'clock at night. hey, babe, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
We ain't got no air conditioning in the dorm.
And y'all probably had 2 days back
We
then.
had 2 of that.
Yeah, y'all over there
We've been in
burning up.
pads for 4 straight weeks, every day, no breaks off. The food is horrible. I just want to come home. No, you can do it. And it's just that little that little pat on the back, like, no, I can do it. So now I'm at practice. I want to stop, but I just think, oh man, my better half saying I can do it. I don't want to let her down. So and that's the thing about it. And it hurts so much when you see the numbers that I want to say 75% of the people after they retired, they married, they end up in divorce.
Yeah.
It's a crazy number. But to go back to your thing, because you got to learn to like each other again.
You're a different person. You're a different person.
We just talked about the Panthers.
Yeah.
I know more about Chris Jenkins and Al Wallace and Mike Minner and Mike Rucker than I knew about my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go in there and do something. You know I don't like that. Oh, you do? I don't know.
And you got to be willing.
You haven't been around.
I haven't been around.
You've been at work
Yes.
and you haven't been around. So like you said, you got to relearn to like each other. You got to relearn each other. Like now you got to relearn me because I'm here all the time. I'm used to not being here.
When I last 3 years, I haven't been coaching. I told my wife one night at dinner, we're going to see if we really like each other now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because all that, see you when you get home, babe. Yeah, then you only see me for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be there. I'm going to leave my shoes in the middle of the floor.
You're going to put your clothes on top of the hamper instead of in the hamper.
I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to brush my teeth and not wipe the mirror down.
That's one of those things I also tell, like, the younger women, those little things matter. And you need to pick your battles. Like, if you nitpicking at every single little thing, that man don't want to hear that when he been over here busting his tail all day. Just be there and try to, what they say, be his peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on the back end, as the men, all the women want is loyalty. They want that little quality time, little cuddling here and there, and take care of them. That's it.
It's a gift. It's a gift.
You have
to, and I found myself, I had to learn to be more like that. You know what I mean? Well, I do stuff, but for my wife, she got this thing. We got to give her 100 touches a day. Whether I just bump into her, she hugs me.
Wait a minute, hold on.
100 touches a day.
Said 100 touches a day?
100 touches a day.
You know what? I ain't even mad at that.
100 touches.
I ain't mad at that. Well, who counting them, though? I would
That's
count
what I was
them.
about to say.
She counts them. Because she'll come up to
We had 97.
she'll come up to me. She's like, I ain't even got 100. So she'll just touch me about 20 times. But you don't know when I'm not there and I'm coaching, it's probably been times I didn't get to hug her.
And coaching is even harder, even longer.
Yes. It's because when the players go home, I'm still there. So I come in, she sleep, I get in the bed, and I wake up before she get up. I probably hadn't touched her or hugged her or just bumped into her. So 100 touches a day.
I like that.
And, you know, just try to go and build it, but it just make you more cognizant of showing that affection, that quiet affection. Because probably been some months. I probably ain't, because you get so focused, and I'm just talking about as a coach. You get so focused because as soon as the game over with as a coach, everybody else can go celebrate. I'm on to the next week.
That's right.
And I got to be ahead because I got to go and watch all this stuff and break it down for the players before they come in the next day, and always trying to find the little small diamonds or the little stuff I can get them to help them become better. That it's the wives and the family that gets left out. But
the fact that you can recognize that, and especially with kids, I know, Larry, you got like 50 million kids.
Don't do that. Don't do that. First of all, I only got one child left.
Oh my goodness.
She's 12. The
they
rest
always
of them
care
grown.
Regardless, they always
they grown.
The
rest of them grown. I got one.
But trying to make sure you not only divide their time up between your wife, your kids, because each kid is different and they need that individual time. But what something that I used to always say, and I used to kind of teach couples and tell couples, if you and your spouse ain't right, then them kids not gonna be right. So focus on that spousal relationship first and foremost, no matter what your job is, whether you coaching, whether you playing, whether you got a corporate job, whether you like you early morning radio, focus on that spousal relationship. If y'all got that relationship with God and that relationship tight, them kids gonna be okay all day.
Because it reminded me of an old saying. This man and his son were walking, and his son was like, the dad was like, hey son, be careful where you go. Watch out where you go. And the son looked at him and said, no disrespect, you be careful where you go. And the dad looked back, said, what you mean? I walk in your footsteps.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? So that was you got to be cognizant of. And so we, without knowing it, we always try to show affection, because I got daughters. And I used to always tell my daughters, please don't make me go to prison for life.
Don't make me go to jail, because your daddy will.
Find somebody that treats you treat you like I treat your mom. And I try to show
right.
you that the hugs, the kisses. Now we have our little arguments and all that, but it's never gonna be anything violent. I'm never gonna even be the threat of violence.
Right.
I want you to find somebody to treat you. And as far as my son, this is how you treat a woman.
Right.
If you can't make a woman feel like how I make your mom feel, and she make you feel this way, then it's not for you.
And you don't have to be perfect.
Mistakes
are gonna be made.
Definitely ain't perfect.
Mistakes are gonna be made, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. And Larry, you told me this too. When your kids notice those mistakes and they can talk to you about it, you can talk to them about it because your kids get older and they start to see things and notice things. You got to take ownership, real ownership. Whether you the mom or the dad, you got to. It's been times where I had to talk to my kids and like, look, like I did this or did that and it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And you have to take that ownership and talk to your kids because that's also showing them how to get out of conflict. You know what I'm saying?
And it hurts you when that daughter hits you as a dad. Hey, Dad, you was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, the girls know to be behind your back.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, you was wrong. Now, you know, I'm gonna need some time to think about it, but you got to go make that right.
And I told Kelly this before. I said the biggest accountability I've ever had to take in life was to my kids. When I went through a situation, it wasn't anybody else on the outside. It wasn't the person I was in a relationship with. It was me having to look in my kids' face and explain to them why I had to do my actions or why I did my actions. That was the biggest accountability I ever had to take in my life.
Oh, yes. Without a doubt. And you figure, and I've been married 32 years.
Congratulations, man.
32.
My wife has been married 32 years. I think I might have struck out 10 of them years, man. Because just being selfish, being an athlete, being a butthole.
But you made it through.
But I made it through because what I learned was you're gonna have fights, but the longer you stay together, it should be easy to come back from. Because you should learn from each and every fight. Then you get to a point where it ain't even a fight; it's just a conversation.
That's it.
Right.
You start to pick it up before it happens. You start seeing the tone. You start to read the room.
Right.
Oh, we're going somewhere it ain't supposed to go. Let me make this U-turn. Let me make this U-turn.
Michelle Obama say sometimes you are gonna give more. You know what I'm saying? Like you might give 80% and your spouse giving 20, or vice versa at different times. What I also would like to say to the women, like journal. That's something that really helped me when I started therapy years and years ago. And I started writing down the things that I wanted to change and the things that I felt like were changing about me. I started writing it down and going back and reading it, because when you get with somebody young, 20, 21 years old, then y'all get to be 35, 40. You are two totally different people.
Absolutely.
So you got to adjust to that person. And there's no judging. Even when you're trying to help them through situations or things that they're going through, they may feel like you judging them. So you got to look at and write it down and go research. How can I help this person without making them feel like I'm judging them? You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to change. That's inevitable. That's inevitable.
Now, I got a question I want to ask, because you just went through it. You just dropped TJ off at college.
I did.
Isn't that the hardest thing in the world?
I
don't care how tough you think you are.
And that's my third one to go.
It's something about the boy, though.
But let me tell you. So I have a stepson that when I met my ex, he was 1, and I had a 2-year-old. So we had custody of both of those. So those two went to college first. And when I tell you, the boy is so different. When the boy went, he was like, he ain't want his room decorated. He ain't want nothing. We dropped him off. That was that. He take his classes, keep it moving. When the girl went, it was a big thing. But I knew, because she was a girl, she was gonna be straight. She knew how to cook. She knew how to clean. Like, she moseyed on through it. Now, them 2 babies that we had together, when I got ready to take TJ, and he went early. He had just turned 17. He was still a senior high. Y'all, I bawled my eyes out.
Telling you.
Y'all different to me.
I left after dropping that little boy off. I said, I'm gonna go to the casino. I didn't even get out the car at the casino up in South Bend, because I was trying to get my mind off things, make a little money off of what I had spent on his apartment. And I said, his dorm. 15 minutes in that car. I said, I'm not going in here. I can't even control my emotions right now.
I'm telling you, when my daughter, oldest daughter she went to Arizona State. So we was in Arizona. It was cool. We dropped her off. We did room. We making TikToks. We dancing. My middle daughter goes to Oregon State. I knew she was gonna be good because she's a free spirit, and we call her, that's our Angela Davis. Any woman call, she fighting for her.
Okay.
But when I dropped my son off to Oregon, I'm like, good. I'm like, we good, man.
And that's a long way away.
Man, I'm telling you, you had to hold back the tears, because there's just something about that younger one.
You worry about them boys, though.
I dropped my son first off. He went to Daviante. He went to Limestone. I dropped my other son. He went to college in Florence. I dropped my oldest son off. I was elated. Like I was glad that they got a chance to experience that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because coming from where I come from, like a lot of people didn't go to school, didn't go to college. So me being able to do that, and the ones that went to school, they daddy didn't drop them off. So for me, it was like coming to age moment. I get to drop my son off at school, and then going around campus with him. Everybody thought I was their brother because they're like, they're like, well, that's your brother. I'm like, yeah, I'm be on campus with y'all. So I mean, my experience is a little different, but I get what y'all saying because like it's.
You
like,
still happy.
Yeah,
you
you
still
happy,
have that elated feeling, but I was still also like
these boys finna come up.
Because I think it was almost, I was scarred from when my dad dropped me off at Clemson. My dad was a tough guy. Vietnam twice, up in New York, you know, had his history, and I never forget you dropping me off. And I went to Clemson early. I went like TJ. Yeah. I went early. I'm in his apartment by myself. I remember sitting there, and he was like, well, I'm about to go. And I heard him go, I like that one. He like, I'm dropping my best friend off.
Don't do it to me, but
he like,
all my kids, my besties. I feel that.
And my dad was the toughest guy I know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I had never seen my dad cry, do nothing. He just tough, straight face. Will shoot you straight. But he like, man, I'm dropping my best friend off. He like, you been with me for 17 years. He like, what I'm gonna do now?
That's crazy.
Boy. Killed me. So I started having those because me and Brandon like best friends. You know what I mean? Because you got Denise and the two girls, but Brandon,
boy.
I was coaching for BA, and BA was like, hey, if your son plays sports, you better go to his practice every day. I don't care if we play in the Super Bowl. You don't miss his practice. So I was always there with him. I never missed anything unless we had a game out of town where I couldn't be there. But then you saying, because in my mind, like, have I told him everything he needs to know? Because
you can't be there in college.
I can't be there. You can't be there. Like, is a girl gonna take advantage of it? How I gave him the game, you know what I mean? But he was just that boy. But that was a hard moment. I was like, I know they just went through it with TJ.
Yeah, and it's tough, especially like going through divorce and having to drop off a kid during that because it's like in a high profile divorce. Everybody's paying attention. Everybody wants to see what's going on, but you have to take that time. And I think we did a really good job of that, of paying attention no matter what's going on the outside to each kid and what they had going on and to this particular moment, because this was big for him. And especially everybody looking at him like, dang, you legacy, you gonna play in the NFL behind your dad, and you chose Notre Dame. You didn't pick Georgia because it was down to Notre Dame and Georgia. So everybody's looking at him, everybody's watching. So he got all of that mental on him. He's got trying to get thrown into, like, we moved him in on Sunday and his classes started Monday.
Right.
They didn't have no break, no time, nothing. And Notre Dame is a hard school academically, you know? And so it was tough. I'm like, gosh, same thing. Is he gonna be able to handle this? Like, it's a lot going on right now. Mom over here acting crazy, getting mug shots and stuff.
Well, you brought it up.
You got a lot.
Well, since you brought up the mug shots.
Oh God.
So where we at in that process? This ain't a legend. I saw the paperwork on this one.
What you talking about?
I saw the paperwork on this one. So you're done with that situation as far as you and what happened with the young lady.
I'm kind of done with it. So I copped a little plea. No,
what was your plea deal? What was your little plea deal?
So and this is public information.
Right,
so anybody can look it up. But basically, I gotta stay away from the person because of what allegedly happened. And I gotta go to some anger management class, which I need to go to anyway, because it's just so much going on. I've been before. But I need
now you going back?
I need to go back again.
You need a refresher?
Yeah, just a little refresher on, my. Let me take a breather. So yeah, I need to go back. So I got to do that. I agreed to do it, but I was also not admitting guilt. Because I have there's a certain thing called a 15A plea deal in North Carolina. So you go to the classes, whatever, everything's dismissed and you're done. Right. So I've been through that too. And I have certain proof of things I'm gonna use in another case that's pertaining to this because we're not done. I can't, really talk about that case.
Understand.
But so we're not done with that part of the other case. But yeah, allegedly. I don't know what y'all talking about.
How many classes you got to do?
I don't know. It's some hours, like 15 hours or something like that. I probably need about 25 hours.
You probably need 45.
Like, this is like your second season in life. Like we just talked about. It's a lot of stuff that hits you. It's a lot of stuff that happens when you are an athlete's wife. It's a lot that goes on that you got to deal with, And sometimes you play a stuff too. It just happens. Stuff happens, and I don't regret anything that's happened in my life.
So your second season in life, where you at on your second season in life? Like you dating? Like what's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to get back out there dating a little bit. I feel like it's been about 2.5, 3 years this time. A little bit. My therapist is like, please go date. But let me tell y'all, this dating world.
Take it slow.
Oh my!
Especially nowadays. What Kendrick Lamar said is kind of tricky out there right now.
Why the 25-year-olds like the 40+ women?
Everybody want a cougar.
That's all they be hollering at me is these little young boys. I got a 24-year-old kid, bro.
Okay, what that mean?
Larry, no.
What that mean?
No.
Mama, you can still get folded.
No.
No. They gonna say, hey, look here, mama, you can still get folded.
No,
get that boy jumped
no.
on.
But the dating world is horrible. Like I got, a couple of friends, but it's not cool.
You wouldn't date a younger guy? Like how young would you go?
Ooh.
You can't go young as your kids, Larry.
I'm gonna say about the 28 to 33. 28 to 33. 28 is crazy. I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 30.
Nah, you said 28 already.
To 33. Because there's some 28-year-olds that got they grown.
You got my thing. I think
that's young. I take that back.
Nah, you already said it. No, you can't take it back. Now you already said the truth.
It's got to be a mature, like 28 to 30-year-old, like mature. Otherwise, I'm 35 and up.
Yeah, okay. you got to be smart because it's a lot of PS5 carriers out there trying to find somewhere to plug
and
there.
They think I'm big mama. They think
exactly.
I don't get no alimony. I don't get no child support. I don't get nothing. I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing.
That's what they trying to run game.
I know they are, but tell them.
They trying to run game.
And he talking about ain't nothing wrong with
what are your dating rules? Like at your big age and you know who you what I mean by who you are as a person. You said you ain't dating nobody under 28 and under. So, like, what are your dating rules? Like, what's your age?
I'm gonna be realistic.
Like, what they got to do? What they got to bring to the table?
I know I wouldn't.
Date somebody
I knew
like
I wouldn't really be with somebody that was 28, 30 or whatever. Like,
right.
For me to actually be in a relationship, and I can't really say that I'm dating to be in a relationship right now.
You just having fun.
I don't even know if I'm having fun. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of chilling, like chilling. If you know what I mean.
Got a song like that.
And then
she don't know what she's doing. She just did it.
I ain't giving it out. I ain't giving it out now.
Know what they said in the song?
This thing real precious over here. Real precious. Precious. Ain't never needed no help. Real precious.
Okay then.
Yes.
So we ain't doing all of that. We ain't doing all of that. But what I will say is that I'm taking everything with everybody slowly just because of what I've been through. And I feel like women that have gone through divorce and gone through, trauma, you got PTSD from certain situations. You got to take it slow. You can't be jumping just into anything. When you jump into something new like that, whether you the man or the woman or, whichever side of the spousal situation you own, you jumping into that, you bringing that same baggage and that same trauma and you passing it on to somebody else and they're going to be dealing with the same stuff. And that's not cool. That's not fair to the next person and to the new person. I can sit over here all day and say, I'm healed, I'm this, I'm that. Not when I'm still in court for stuff. Not when I'm still, dealing with business. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if the divorce is final, I'm still handling business. Okay. So I need to make sure that I'm paying attention to God, because God clearly was trying to show me something with this divorce. And what I feel like he was trying to show me is put me on the throne. You know what I'm saying? So if I got God first and then I worry about me and how I'm handling my kids and taking care of me and my kids, that's most important. Then people don't actually know how to date. They don't know what dating is. They jumping in the bed.
Social media messed that up.
They don't know. I actually like to date. Let's date and get to know each other no matter how long they take.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Butt Naked Truth on the Butt Naked Truth podcast. Going through a divorce and, whatever you're going through, do you still love the other person?
Do you still love or have love?
Do you still love the other person today?
I have love. And I think there's a difference.
I got you.
That means that if something happened to that other person or any of my exes, I'm going to care about it. I'm going to go to the funeral. I'm going to help the family. I'm going to go see whatever it is that happened. I'm using that as an example. If you need me and you really need me, I'm going to be there no matter what you did to me, because that's how God made me.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to always have love. Now, do I love? Do I like? Am I in love? Fuck no. Like none of that. None of that. Because you played. But I do feel like that, at any moment in time, if that person or any of them people needed me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there.
Show up and
no matter what. I'm gonna show up. That's just in me.
All right.
No matter what we're going through, I'm gonna be there.
No doubt. That's your Butt Naked Truth.
That's your Butt Naked Truth.
I respect that. And you got a lot of stuff going. You got your podcast popping off.
I do.
What else you got popping?
I got a podcast popping off. Got a reality TV show coming out soon. You know, y'all will hear about that. We ain't gonna talk too much about it, but got a reality TV show coming. I actually do long-term investments. That's how I, make my money now. So I do a lot of classes and stuff off of that. I do trading in the stock daily. You know what I'm saying? I teach my kids about investing and how to make money and got them putting their money in the right places. So that's really what I've been focusing on right now. On the back end, I own a salon suites with one of my good friends. So shout out to Sky Salon Suites. So we doing that thing. And then I also took the LSAT because I want to go to law school. Okay. So yeah, I'm doing a lot. I got my hands in a lot of stuff. And like I said, new season, and that's okay. It's okay to start over.
Yes.
People think you got to be sad. And then you hear a lot of women say, and especially like, dealing with a pro athlete or in their world, like just move on and forget about it. You can't forget about your life that you had before, especially when you had kids. You know what I'm saying? And although I wish things, would be different now, and I wish things were handled differently, it didn't work out that way. So you have to start preparing for their new life. You don't have to forget about your old life. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make moves that's going to push you into whatever your next chapter is. So I've just been making moves.
She like the August, so we sit the law school.
But that's a new world now. You know, a lot of careers, people are reinventing themselves.
Yeah.
It used to be where I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna do this, and now I'm gonna retire. But no, you might reinvent yourself 4 or 5 times, over and over again. And you're never too old to learn. I just graduated summa cum laude, with a degree from East Texas A&M. I'm telling you, that CTE kicking in. It just kicking. But I had to reintroduce myself. That's what I call it. I had to reintroduce myself and relearn myself. But it's a great thing because it's a joke that we always say in the locker room. I always be Brentson Buckner. Denise, if you leave me, you'll always be my ex-wife. My name is going to come with you, so you might as well embrace it, but you can reintroduce yourself and as something else you want to be, because life don't stop. You can't stop living. So I applaud you for doing that, to keep on moving on, even though I'm a champion for Black love. You know what I mean?
I know.
We all are champions.
But things happen. Things happen. You got to keep it moving or whatever. Like I said, it don't matter what. And I get what you're saying. That name is going to always be attached. But one thing also to the ladies, you can create your own name. You can start doing stuff at the very beginning, which is something that I did, prior to even meeting, my ex and doing anything that I did. I started, people knew who I was. People knew what I did. People knew that I was working, a hard worker. I had a kid. First week in college, found out I was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But I was bringing my baby to class because we're going to graduate. We're going to graduate together. Okay. But you start doing stuff on your own. So even when you're sitting at home, it's so many remote jobs. It's so many things that you can do on your own as a woman, even if your spouse is the breadwinner, even if, you feel like, okay, I got to take care of these kids or whatever. Everything may not get done in a day, but do something for
yourself. Exactly.
Do something for yourself.
And the thing about that, most men encourage that. You don't want nobody I'm out here, like you said, tackling 400-pound dudes every day. You want your spouse to I want you to do something. My mama always said 2 checks better than 1.
I'm trying. Well, I told you that too. Miss
Judy said that.
Miss Judy did not play about that, baby.
Didn't play about that money.
I remember I used to work at the TV station. I might get a check for $1,200. And I remember one time somebody said, what that little $1,200 gonna do? Let me tell you what that $1,200 gonna do. It's gonna pay this high ass light bill.
Exactly.
That's $1,800.
Exactly.
It's gonna pay for these groceries for all our kids and everybody else's kids that's always at our house. It doesn't matter if it fits the description of the size check that your spouse is getting. Do something.
Please do something. I want you to do something for you.
Man, the greatest thing my wife ever did, and I'm gonna say it on the show, she never did. I was drafted 2nd round Pittsburgh. Everybody telling her, you don't have to work. I came home one day. She had a note. She's like, I'm going to work. I'm like, what? She went and got a job at the mall. Okay. At a store called Capizio's.
Okay.
She's like, I can't lay in the bed all day. I got to do something for myself. And to myself, I was like, that's right. She was like, I don't want my identity. Yeah, I'm always be your wife. Yeah. We married. But she's like, I got to feel like my worth. I got to feel like I'm earning my worth. And I tell any young couple out there that's getting married, find something to do outside your husband. It could be a woman that's the breadwinner. There's a lot of women that's I'm not gonna be a husband that's gonna sit down and wait for you to come home every day. No, if I gotta go cut grass, I'm gonna go do something that gives me some kind of self-worth. I think that makes it. It makes if it doesn't work, it makes the fall a lot easier.
Right.
You know what
Right,
you
no,
know what I mean.
absolutely.
It makes it a lot easier.
And it's hard. It's hard starting over. It's hard when you're like, dang, I'm used to this lifestyle. I'm used to doing this or doing that. And things got to change. It's a tough conversation to tell your kids, you ain't flying on the PJ no more right now. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. But you know that if you're building something and you know where you can get to, where you can get back to, and you know what you've done to help that situation as a couple, then you ain't worried because you know you can get back there. Like I have no worry about my knowledge and the things that I do to be able to make sure that my kids are never going to feel like they're not rich or wealthy. And there's a difference. You could be rich in love, you could be rich in spirit, you could be rich in all of those things with your family. But I want my kids to feel that wealth too, that they know that their kids gonna be okay.
That's what it's all about.
And it's got to start somewhere, regardless of decisions that are made and mistakes that happen. It's got to start somewhere, and you got to start teaching your kids, and you as a woman or you as the spouse that's not the breadwinner, you got to start telling yourself, what can I do to contribute?
And you also got to teach your kids how to be entrepreneurs like you are 100%. Right now, you know what I mean, with the Sky Salons and everything. Tell us about that. Where's it located at? And who in that doing here? Because you got your girl Chastity.
I got girls in there. Shout out to Chastity. Chastity is the top K-tip person in Charlotte, and argue with your mama. So she is there. She does clients from all over the world. They come in, to get their hair done. I have a whole bunch of other great stylists in there, estheticians in there, nail techs. It's a boutique style salon suite. So we only have 10 suites. It's not one of those big, 50, 60 suites. And so people love to be in Sky Salons. And we only let a selective, few actually join our team. You know what I'm saying? Chastity had this great vision. I came on board and we did it together. A lot of people think that the salon suites is named after Sky, but it's not. Chastity picked his name before I even met her.
Oh, that's dope.
And so end up having a daughter. And Sky does our marketing, our social media, all this stuff, because she has her undergrad at Kentucky and she's got her master's at Vanderbilt. So her master's is in marketing. And so she handles all of that. She's got clients on her own. So she's her own entrepreneur. I don't have to give her money or do anything unless I want to at 24 years old. She's already got her master's degree by the time she was 23.
Y'all got a blind person that doing nails? Cause I got ugly feet. I don't want nobody looking at my feet and telling jokes. I need a blind nail person.
You got nobody blind.
At least they ain't foreign when they talking in the phone.
Oh yeah. I got it on my phone now.
Shout out to Nails by Hershey. He does not play about them feet, baby. He is not doing your feet. He's just not gonna do it.
Oh, he ain't finna do my feet anyway. Ain't no he finna do my feet.
He making nothing. Now don't you do hers, baby. He the best in the game.
I know he probably is.
Best in the game. They fly him over to France and everywhere with nails.
But he won't fly with a buck.
You see this nail set, baby?
I was looking. I've been looking at him.
Let me ask you this, Kelly. Of all the things you can invest in, why a salon suite? Why that? I know you say your girl Chastity brought the idea, had the vision, but why say, okay, we're gonna put our money over here and go this direction? I feel like the number one thing was helping our Black community and helping minorities have their own, because people go and they work in other people's businesses and have to pay them a percentage. They have to go into, say, whatever type of salon, and they have to work in a group with a whole bunch of people. And a lot of people don't like doing that. They want their own business. So each suite, that's their own separate entity, their own business. All they do is rent the space from us. And so we wanted to be able to help people become entrepreneurs themselves. And that was a big thing. You got your own business. You pay your own taxes. You do all of that. We don't tell you what to do. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You just in our building. Gotcha.
And so now we have, 8 to 10 entrepreneurs doing their own thing, making their own money, taking care of their families.
That's nice. That's what's up.
We do community service. We try to help give back, around the holidays, back to school, during the earlier part of the year when kids need stuff, prom dress drop-offs, all that kind of stuff. We do a lot with Sky Salon Suites, and hopefully one day we can expand and open up another one.
That's what's up. Yeah. And your decision to do a reality show, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to do a reality show?
Because number one, my kids have been pushing me to do more. Okay. They've been saying, Ma, you need to get out there. You need to do stuff. And so I talked to my kids about my decisions. And so when the opportunity was presented years ago, it was like, nah, whatever. When it came around this time, I'm like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not dip your hands in that? You already have a huge personality. People love you. You got people coming to you and asking you. And I wanted to do something that was more specific to Charlotte instead of some of the other networks that have come and asked me to do stuff. Right. And I don't want to be fake about it. I don't want to be fake and acting like I live in in this city or whatever. So something that was more specific to Charlotte. So I said, hey, let's do it. I got a lot going on in my life right now. And y'all just gonna have to see the true stuff. We're not making up anything. Y'all gonna have to see the true things that are happening. Buck naked truth. The true things that are happening in my life.
Exactly.
So if it's me going up to Notre Dame, to South Bend to put my son apartment together or go watch one of his practices, if it's me helping my daughter, handle her stuff from Kentucky, if it's me dealing with a 16-year-old right now in high school and the stuff she got going on, y'all gotta watch my real life.
I like that.
Because stuff don't stop just because you have a divorce. We still got 4 kids plus 5 bonus kids. Life don't stop.
Life don't stop.
I got a lot for everybody to see. y'all wanna watch me and I can get paid for it?
I'm gonna give it to you raw.
I'm gonna give it to you, baby.
Give it to her raw.
Give it to her raw.
One thing I've always loved about you ever since I met you, you've been grounded in the community with everything you've done. You ran the foundation for a long time. You're the executive director.
And thank you for being a part of our family foundation for so many years. And I will say this now on Buck Naked Truth.
It was that guy. He brought me in. He introduced me.
You did? Well, shout out to you for bringing him on board today.
I try to do my little part.
And I knew Larry. So when I heard that Larry might want to be a part, I was like, 100. But I'm going to say this right now for the first time. We're going to have a new foundation starting, another family foundation. TJ wants to get
that's
his own foundation going. So working on that right now. We're getting him going. He wants to start young, helping out in the community. And y'all, when I tell you, that just warmed my heart because that showed that us making them go with us, making them go with us to pack book bags, to pack lunches, to go visit the shelters, to go travel to 3 different states, giving out Christmas toys. These kids watched it. They were a part of it. And they did the most volunteer hours you could ever imagine. And now they want to be involved. They want to, his sisters are like, we'll help. We want to do. He wants to start another foundation. And so we're going to start that. That's going to be starting soon.
Speaking of TJ, this was actually on our agenda to talk about today. We're talking about NIL money. And I don't want to talk about, what he got specifically.
And I won't.
But, kids now, like, you don't have to coddle them because they're getting NIL money.
They can do what they want to do. So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. TJ moved in that dorm room. I got a video. And TJ, and I'll send it to y'all so y'all can laugh. TJ looked at that community bathroom because he was in one of the oldest dorms. Baby, he wouldn't even walk in the bathroom. Do you hear me? He was like, oh, nah. I said, oh, nah, nothing, buddy. You here. You got to get that experience. You got to get that experience. So we moved him into the dorm. Now, TJ has grown up with, I call his brothers. These are his cousins and these are god kids that we raised. So he had a valid point. He came to me after a few weeks of being in the dorm. He said, Ma, I can't do it. I said, TJ, we're not doing that bougie shit. Like, I know you grew up different or whatever, 13,000 square foot house. Your ass is staying in that dorm. So we started arguing about it. He said, I need some time to myself. And he was like, I'll pay for it. I said, no, you need to be in the dorm. He said, if I can just explain to you, just listen to me. And sometimes we don't listen to
I say this all the time.
Yeah.
We don't listen.
He came to me and he said, I have lived with people my entire life. And this is so important. Let me tell y'all, you can help people and you can do whatever you want to do as a couple. But when your kids feel like they've never had time alone with their parents, they've never had time alone to enjoy their room, enjoy their home, enjoy their house. We might have been helping so many people and doing things that God wanted us to do, but it missed me that my kids didn't get the individual time that they needed with their parents. It missed me. They didn't get that alone time that they needed in their own room without it always being somebody there, going through their clothes, sleeping in their bed. And he said, I just want to stay by myself. He said, can I get an apartment just to stay by myself? It's nothing against my roommate. It's nothing against the school. And I said, TJ, you got a valid point. So I let him get an apartment. Okay. So he wasn't even in the dorm for a month and a half. And I was back up in South Bend, moving him into an apartment. And mentally for him and everything that he's going through, he needed that breather to be able to say, a deep breath. I don't have anybody to look after. I don't have to watch over nobody. My siblings, no cousins, no family, nobody. Just me and worry and focus about me. And that's what made me say, okay, Mom, you might be wrong this time. And he can handle it. You know how you raise your kids.
Yes.
You know who can handle what. You know what I'm saying? And he's so mature. He's been doing an awesome job in his apartment by himself.
So did he spend your money? He spent his own money.
So how that works, he spent my money.
Okay.
But I am making him, he has a college fund. Shout out to his dad for making sure he had a college fund growing up. So he gets to pay me back from his college fund some of the things that I paid for. So you can pay for your apartment and some things you need pertaining to school. Now, when this little clown went and bought a Louis Vuitton necklace at the mall and didn't say nothing to me on my American Express card, sorry, his American Express card is attached to me, I don't get that back. You know what I'm saying? So I let him splurge a little bit.
He got that.
I let him splurge
I don't
a
know
little bit.
they got big NIL money. I ain't seen the figures, but I know they got big
NIL money. He does not touch, and he's blessed enough not to have to touch it.
Right.
But he does not touch his NIL money, and he has an investment team, and his money goes straight into an investment account, and it's making money already.
That's what's up. That's smart.
That's the thing about starting young with your kids and your family, because you don't want to be that mom that say, I need you to take care of me. You don't want to be the family that's everybody around with their hand out. You want your child to be able to, and being honest and keeping it real like the white people. You want them to be able to grow up and say, I ain't got to help my family like that unless I want to. So it was something that was very important to me, no matter how many jobs I have to have, no matter what I need to do from now moving forward, that he ain't touching that NIL money. It's investing.
Okay.
And that's super smart, because if you look at it, if you're good or good enough, you can leave college and almost retire off your NIL if you do it right. You invest it the right way. You be smart the way you spend it, because 9 times out of 10, you go to a Power 5 school, you're not paying for nothing anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. You're not paying for books. You don't have to worry about what you're going to eat. You know, you're going to wear all Notre Dame or whatever school paraphernalia.
And let me give a little PSA to TJ real quick about the worry about the eat part. Y'all got this new dining hall. You got all of this stuff that they give you over there. Please tell me why the DoorDash bill is so high every month. That sucker be DoorDash. And he know how to cook. They give him cooking classes at Notre Dame.
He tired from practicing football, mama.
That boy be tearing that DoorDash up.
I'm tired from practicing football. I don't want to cook.
Can I get a refund on the DoorDash? That's all from your college fund. Can I get a little something back? Little something back?
My son's the same way at Oregon. Like, you at Oregon, you don't have to pay for nothing. Phil Knight done took care of everything, but the bills were steadily coming in.
Because that's our fault. That's our fault. Us millennial parents got these kids spoiled right.
Well, we want to give them what we didn't have.
I ain't got no kid at Oregon or Notre Dame, but Big you can just send me something. I just need a little something. Just to me. Nah, that's got to be dope, man. We're talking about NILs in college, but I know you played. You know, y'all didn't get no NIL money, but it's always been speculation that y'all was getting paid under the table. Now,
what you mean speculation?
I don't know. I didn't play it at that level, Kelly, so I don't know. I gotta ask the expert.
Well, allegedly. Allegedly. Well, it's always this is my butt naked truth on NIL. All it did was give all these alumni a chance to say, hey, I'm going to pay you openly. They can't do nothing about it.
That's right. Because it's a collective.
It's a collective.
School, right? And that's the alumni.
Because NIL is supposed to be name, image, and likeness.
Right. That's what it said for.
I hadn't seen one college kid selling nothing. They're just putting the money. You go to Texas, University of Texas, but everybody know, if you talk to college coaches now, they won't even recruit a kid if Texas is one of the kids' favorite, because they can't compete with the money. Yeah. You got guys out of Texas, kids out of University of Texas driving Lamborghinis at 17 and 18 years old. They got it as part of the collective. You know what I mean? So how can you compete with that? Now, back in our day, I'll be telling you a well-dressed lie if I told you some people weren't getting paid in college.
Right.
But that paid compared to what this paid is different. Different. This tip money they gave us back in the day, they getting the whole bill. But you knew it. If you got money enough to get you 2 or 3 pair of new tennis shoes, or a leather coat when they got cold, or back then it was starters. If you had a little name brand, everybody said, "Oh, that guy that getting paid." Or you had, like I did, had leather furniture in my apartment when I was at, that guy might be getting paid. Yeah. But now you can't tell. I went to Clemson to do a football camp, and these guys were pulling up in.
I'm trying to
tell
you. They got it, baby.
Lamborghini trucks.
Lamborghinis.
Maybachs.
Maybach, yeah.
They been at 18, 17 years old.
And I totally disagree with that. But like Larry said, sometimes as a parent, you can't control them when they're getting their own money.
Yes.
But Lord, guys, if you're listening, the young ones that's watching, invest your money.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, that stock market, no matter what, if it goes down a year, it's gonna come back up.
It's gonna come back.
Y'all gotta invest your money. And you think about having a couple $100,000 in college, what that can be 10, 15, 20 years from now. Then you think about the kind of cars and stuff you can buy in. This material stuff don't mean nothing. Because first of all, y'all ain't doing that but trying to impress the other dudes, because girls do not care like that. They gonna talk to you anyway. No. Y'all trying to impress each other with these cars and stuff. But
the one thing about it, that if you were smart, if I was a parent right now and I had a 5-star athlete and people throwing money at him, first thing I'm gonna do is, hey, we're gonna go take financial classes as a family. Let's learn how to work this money together. Let's see what the money is gonna be at, how you gonna spend, because that $300,000 you got after you pay taxes and this is not gonna be that. Now, if you're gonna buy some, we're gonna invest in a townhouse or a house that you're gonna own. Yeah. So when you do leave college, just say you don't go to NFL, you got that house, or you ever get into financial. This is something I own. I can always flip. But a lot of these kids I think are being scared. They're getting thrust into the parent role because they're playing sports, and all they hear is money. And agents are taking advantage of these kids, because you got some people out there charging 30% to kids. And in the NFL, you can't charge no more than 3%. But you charge a high school kid 30% because the parents don't see. All they see is, well, all right, we getting $500,000. 30% of it will be good. We'll spend the rest.
And they're not paying attention to how long those contracts can go for. And a lot of that is with those NIL contracts. People are jumping into that world because it's easy to get a license to handle NIL stuff. And they don't really know what's going on. Like you said, the 3%, or you might get a deal through your agent and it's 10%. But these marketing contracts is definitely 20 to 30%. And sometimes they might say, oh, this is through your whole career, your NFL career too, and you're not reading the fine print. That's another reason why I said I want to go to law school, because I want to be able to look at contracts. My daughter, the youngest one, wants to go into real estate. TJ, with all the stuff that he's doing in the sports world, I want to be able to read these contracts and know what's going on. Another set of eyes beyond the people that he's working with, because you don't want to get taken advantage of, and it's happening. It's happening.
But let me ask you this. Like you said, NIL right now is open. Like when you was in school, how did they slide y'all the money? Like, did they leave it in your locker? Did they put it in the car? Like, how did they do it? Like, I'm not saying you, but other people that might know.
Other people I knew that got it. We used to have this thing at Clemson where after the game, you walk back to your dorm.
Okay. And
we used to have these big travel bags. You just walk back to the dorm, people pat your bag, you get to your, boom. You see what you got, or grandmama, or you go somewhere, you might find something allegedly. Yeah, allegedly, you might find a good old handshake, or you might get a job. You might get a job where, Larry, you're making $50 an hour, but you only got to clock in and clock out. So it was always ways to get it done, but it was so scary because they didn't want you. Because they know giving you money gave you power, and that's what we used to say at athletes. We're free labor, and they made you getting the education out of it. Yeah, but look at all the money you're getting. I think Warren Sapp said it. I'm in there playing and cheering, but I can't buy my own jersey when I walk down the street, but everybody else can buy it.
That was Chris Webber.
Chris Webber said it. Or I remember days that my mama worked in a mill. She made $3.25 an hour. There wasn't a whole bunch of money she could send me. But so my mom leaves, she would cook food. But if I'm going down the street and I'm seeing all these kids, hey, great game, but they're sitting there cutting a steak and they eating, and I'm walking down here to rallies. Yeah. They're getting a $4.25 meal because the only thing I could afford. Right. But then you had families that took care of people, and I think University of Colorado had it where at one time my God bless the dead, my roommate from the pros, Charles Johnson, he's like, Colorado had buff families where they would have alumni adopted. Your parents signed over your parental rights as a buff family, so now it was easy for them to take care of because they're your legal guardian. Yeah. So people found ways to go around and get it done, but it was so frowned upon. Yeah, that these athletes is making you billions of dollars. You're mad because I gave them $100 to go get something to eat. Yeah, but now it just shows you how much money was out there. Really, just the money they get now. Just imagine all the money that was being made when they wasn't sharing it with the players. Yeah.
Butt Naked Truth Podcast, No Limit Larry, Brentson Buckner. Our guest today,
the real Kelly D. She tell Davis in the building, y'all.
Told her Butt Naked Truth. Kelly, before we leave, you got anything else you want to tell the people?
No, I don't have anything else. I'm just so proud of you guys. Thanks for having this platform, and thanks for caring enough to bring, the NFL wife community, i.e. me representing right now on here to talk about life, to talk about things. We just appreciate it,
And you tell TJ when he start that foundation, I'm available.
You available? You gonna be on board helping us?
Yeah. Has he said what he want to do? Like
he's giving me a name, and so we got the name together or whatever. We're working on the 501c3 stuff now for the tax exemption, and I'm just so proud of him. We were trying to get it together to give book bags away, but we're gonna partner and donate some book bags in other areas to help with back to school supplies and things like that. But just knowing that he's got this huge course workload at Notre Dame and the stuff that he's doing, him saying he wants to help, and then his siblings saying they'll help too, like chef's kiss.
All right.
Yes. And before we get off, I just got to say, this is the 25th anniversary of Corey Stringer's death in training camp.
Yeah.
And, thankful that the NFL and the powers that be have really put measures in place to keep football players safe. Because, we play in a hard sport. You're out in the sun. You got to play in it. So now, even down to the high school levels now, they have heat advisories.
Yeah.
The sports science has really kicked in. I remember the day it happened August the 1st. And Corey Stringer passed, and it hurt all of our heart because he was one of us. You might be on different teams, but it's a big fraternity. To see one of our guys die playing the game that we all play, and it's the anniversary. And Minnesota are doing a big thing for his family that I read about. But I just want to say big shout out to Corey Stringer, man. You've been missed. You was on the way to being one of those great ones. But we would not forget you.
And definitely on the high school level, you can't, if it's above like 89 degrees, they make you go inside. You can't practice. So, man, prayers up to Court.
Yes, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm Nolan Belair.
I'm Brentson Buckner. Get rid of all them well-dressed lies and come out with your butt-naked truth.